Hi, and welcome to another really exciting episode of Inside the Cage. I'm your host, Danny Lopez. Working alongside me will be Joe Stevenson handling your questions on the Q&A section. Also, Mike Phillips won't be with us this week handling the calendar section. He's on vacation. We wish him all the best, and we hope he returns quickly. I'm going to be doing the calendar section. I hope I do it justice. We got a really exciting show. First of all, King of the Cage is stepping up their game. They're bringing us, and on this show we're going to be talking about it, a tournament that takes place in the month of October, which is going to pave the road for a few fighters that are taking their fight game seriously, looking to make that transition from the amateur status to the pros. We're excited about that because as a host of Inside the Cage, a few of our fighters are going to be on that fight card. And hopefully they'll be making that transition into the pros pretty soon. We're going to monitor their progress during the time from now until October, and then we're going to cover the fight that night as well as the post-fight events. So we're really excited. Welcome back as we take you back inside the cage. Back to Inside the Cage. Now we're going to take you back into the gym as Joe Stevenson is going to answer one of your questions. The question that was posed is, when you're going for a rear naked choke, how do you counter someone who's trying to break out of that hold? And Joe Stevens is going to show you exactly how to do that as we go back over to the gym.
Face the camera. Beautiful. We're here. I've got two hooks in. I'm trying to choke him. Here and here, I start my Dan Severn, I come up here instead of shooting, maybe I happen to come here, and he fights the top handoff. Boom. Now, once he's fought this top handoff, it takes a lot of my pressure away around his neck. Now it's just one arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to use that one arm. This hand is going to creep to his shoulder, and I'm going to grab that shoulder. And as he's controlling this hand, I'm going to place that armpit on top of the shoulder. So now it's locked in. I'm going to focus all my pressure on my right hook. So the same side that my lock would be with my hands, that leg is going to focus with that hook. I'm going to go to the opposite side. So I'm going to go to my left side. And as I do that, I'm going to use my leg to kick back, and I'm going to use my arm to wrench his neck. Very similar to like if you used to the gi bow and arrow choke. Here and here, opposite side. I go here, I go to lock it wrong, he grabs. This hand sneaks to his shoulder, and then I place my armpit on top of it. So now the pressure of him controlling that hand locks my hand in. What I'm going to do is now focus on the same side my lock is, that foot on his hook, as I go to the opposite side. Collapse to the side, focus on this hook, rotate down and back, fully extending. So once again, this is the counter to countering somebody stopping you in the RNC. One more time. Boom, I lock it wrong. Trap, pinch it in. Collapse to the opposite side. Arch back and bow. I hope this was a little bit of education for the move. Not very many people know how to counter it, and now you do. Take care, guys.
As indicated previously, Mike Phillips is on vacation, so I'll be handling the calendar section, and I hope that I do it justice. First off, we're going to be talking about the Gladiator Challenge, which takes place tonight at the Saboba Casino. And for ticket information, if you want to get on that, is 951-665-1000 or www.gladiatorchallenge.com. The next event that we want to talk about and cover is going to take place July 5th in the Mall of Asia in the city of Manila in the Philippines, where Joe Condon will be fighting against Loan Tainanes for the junior welterweight title belt, and that's in the 155-pound category. We wish him all the best. He's a local favorite and a personal friend of ours. So we wish him the best. Bring back that belt, Joe. Also, Yusaki Sakashida is going to be fighting against Sean Strickland, and that's for the middleweight title on that same fight card. That's King of the Cage in Manila, the Philippines. Now on Saturday, July 6th, King of the Cage is putting on a promotion called Patriarch, and that's taking place at the Northern Lights Casino in the city of Walker, Minnesota. On that fight card, Eli Finn, Chad Rayner, David Smith, and Jaime Bauer will all be participating on that night's event. For ticket information, you can go to www.northernlightscasino.com, or you can reach them directly at 1-800-252-PLAY. Once again, that's 1-800-252-PLAY. On Thursday, July 11th, at the San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino, King of the Cage is putting on a promotion called Validation, where Josh Avilas and Daniel Hernandez will be headlining the fight card. For more information on that fight card, you can go to www.sanmanuel.com. Once again, that's www.sanmanuel.com. On July 20th, Explode Fight Series is putting on an event called Aftermath. It's a pro-am show, and I kind of like that because some of the amateurs put on really, really good fights. The amateur show starts at 3 p.m. The pro series starts at 6:15. Leonard Smith is going to go up against Pat Cummings, and for more ticket information, you can go to www.explodefightseries.com, or you can reach him directly at 760-743-4999. That's in the city of Dali, and that's just east of Escondido. Bama USA presents Bad Beat number 10. That's going to take place at the Commerce Casino in the city of Commerce. For more ticket information, you can reach them at 714-912-8822, or you can reach them directly at BamaUSA.com. On that fight card, there's a lightweight title fight up for grab, and that's Ernest Chavez versus Eric Brown at 155 pounds. And for the featherweight title at 145 pounds, a very good friend of ours, Chris Colley, is going to be the urban legend, is going up against Jesse Newell. So Chris, bring back that belt. Make weight this time, buddy. And finally, August 16th, King of the Cage returns to the Eastside Cannery Hotel and Casino in the city of Las Vegas, where they put on Future Legends number 16. This is a particularly interesting event for me because Aaron Williams is going to be defending his title for the 4th time against Saeed Hassan. And then Jose Lopez is going up against Castle Williams. We also have 4 other local favorites that are going to be fighting on that fight card. That's Jonathan Noriega, John Flores, Ramon Jauregui, and Raul Hernandez. For ticket information or hotel accommodations, you can reach them at 702-856-5470. Once again, that's 702 area code 856-5470, or you can reach, again, any of the King of the Cage promotions, you can reach them directly at www.kingofthecage.com. Once again, that's www.kingofthecage.com. That pretty much wraps it up for this week's edition of the calendar section. We're going to head back over to the gym where we're going to talk a little bit more in depth with Joe Stevenson in reference to that tournament that's going to be taking place in the month of October. We're going to talk a little bit about the transition between going from an amateur to a pro and the opportunities that are now being presented to fighters. Joe.
Well, I mean, when I first started fighting pro, my first pro fight was I got a tap out tank top, white beater, and like $100. Then my next 2 fights I fought for free because it was a tournament winner takes all. So I won it, and then I lost the next one. And really, you know, when you're first starting off, you're investing everything you had, you know, into fighting, and you're getting paid smidgens of what you will be paid one day. It's really hard to stay motivated and positive and do the right things when you're having to hustle to feed your family or to even feed yourself, putting in the right supplements and things. It's just so difficult. I used to not be a fan of the amateur fights because I just thought it was a way for the promoters to make money without having to pay. Really, I can't imagine, you know, if you did 10 amateur fights or more than 10 amateur fights, you just took a couple wars definitely in there, and that's on the back end of your career. You're not going to have that ability to have those same wars.
And especially in MMA, because in MMA, I boxed professionally and kickbox. I only had to worry about the feet and the hands. Now you got to worry about getting choked out or getting your arm tweaked. Every move can be crucial to a win or a loss just by one simple little mistake. And that's one of the things that fighters nowadays have to be consistent. Otherwise, even a bad arm bar can actually throw you out for 6-7 months and you're out of the game for a while. And it's a very short-lived career. Now, we want to talk about the opportunities that King of the Cage is actually presenting in this tournament.
King of the Cage has this tournament going off in October. We have the opportunity to put several of our amateurs in it. And the cool news about this tournament is people are going to be voting on your performance and how you fought. The winners of this tournament through votes will be presented with a contract that is going to give them job security.
Now, what's at stake for these fighters? What are they getting out of it?
Well, in the beginning, right now, everything. Think about it. It's like if I were to race you and I was like, okay, let's get on your knees, and then I stood up on my feet and I was like, go. And we were to race, I would be at a clear advantage. It's the same thing here.
One of the things that I'm doubly excited about, number one, that I'm one of the trainers who's going to be working with some of these fighters, but getting a chance to see them go from amateur to pro and what advantages there are for these new young fighters is exciting for me, both as a coach and as well for the program Inside the Cage, because we're going to be covering some of these fighters along their journey through this tournament.
You're given an opportunity to show your best and what you have, and people are going to vote on it, and hopefully you had the better day, and people were excited and they vote for you, because in the long run you now have job security. You now have a fact that for this year I know I don't have to go get a job. I can now train full time, put everything I need, all my resources into it. When you're out there fighting and if you second guess yourself because you think you didn't do enough, you're going to lose. And now being able to put everything in, it's all on you. I think a lot of this is actually going to fall on the fighter themselves. With this job security, what do? Do you get lazy and you just say, oh cool, I did it? Are you satisfied with it? Or are you happy with just getting this opportunity? Or are you going to take advantage of this opportunity? And I think that's what it comes in. Who's going to win these contracts and who's going to take advantage of this opportunity? Not just win. Oh, I won it and I went and I fought and I did it half-heartedly with job security. Or, hey, I won it and I've got this opportunity. I'm going to push even harder now.
Exactly.
And take advantage of this. All of a sudden they want to re-sign me again professionally, which I think they have a very good shot of doing.
That's awesome. We got a couple fighters that are going to be entering that tournament. We're not going to mention names at this time, but we're going to follow their progress as we go along. So we want you to still tune in every week so you can follow their progress, follow the techniques that we're going to be working with them, and following the fights. And now, how many fights do they have to fight before this tournament is over?
It's just going to be one. So it's in a tournament, but there's going to be 20 fights.
Before we go any further, I just wanted to show you a little highlight reel on one of our fighters. His name is Rodolfo Larios. He just came off a victory over an opponent who was interesting to me when the commentators made the comment referring to them as David and Goliath. And I just want to say that you can never measure a man's heart, his will, or his determination by his outer appearance. And that's exactly what we're going to show you in this clip.
Pequeño mexicano Rodolfo Larios dice: si David venció a Goliat, aquí está esta catapulta.
Ahorita es tiempo y a ver qué aprendió sobre todo Joe Daddy Stevenson, que es un experto.
Sin embargo, se resbala de su telaraña de la humanidad de ese Morgan. Y aquí, la verdad que también las veo muy pareja. Aunque creo que Rodolfo Larios, obviamente por la entrada, no lo va ni matándolo le van a ganar.
Cuidado,
y aquí está guillotina, cuidado, una estrangulación de pie. Y aquí está el tap out. Se acaba la contienda. ¿Qué pasó? Dijo Morgan. Se quedó con la boca abierta. ¿Qué carambas pasó?
Well, there you go. You never judge a book by its cover. As I said before, you can never measure a man's heart, his will, or his determination by his outer appearance. This week's episode of Inside the Cage is brought to you by Liquid Nitro. Hey, thank you very much for joining us on this week's edition of Inside the Cage. Until next time, we tell you to keep punching, kicking, grappling until we take you back inside the cage.